Harry and Meghan Markle's surrogacy scandal has entered the mainstream media domain.
Hot description she does of the Portland hospital, the birth, that was completely fabricated. We all know.
This case about whether you think the birth was real, whether you think there was a surrogate, whether you think Meghan was wearing a moon bum. The fact is, Harry and Meghan lied. Buckingham Palace lied on their behalf. There was a complete cover-up over the birth of Prince.
She never intended to go to the Portland hospital. She intended to have the baby at home. We know that they deceived the public about the birth data and time of the whole event. So, and also, even it goes down to the lawyer saying that in that statement, when they had that long attack on the Mail, which is astonishing, that Meghan, we know she lied in her statement.
The carefully managed public story surrounding Prince Harry and Meghan Markle appears to be facing growing scrutiny, and more people are openly talking about it than ever before. What once stayed in private conversations has moved into the spotlight, with fresh debate building day after day. Discussions linked to comments and claims from author Tom Bower have sparked renewed interest in questions about Archie and Lilibet, and the response across the public has been loud and impossible to miss. This is no longer being viewed as just another chapter of royal drama. Topics that once circulated in small circles are now spreading across social media, news coverage, and online discussions everywhere. Many people are calling for greater transparency, while others argue the family's privacy should be respected. That split alone shows how heated the conversation has become. Harry and Meghan have long worked to protect their children from intense public attention, yet public interest in their family continues to grow, creating an increasingly uncomfortable situation for everyone involved.
Or Harry hadn't been involved, then they can't be in the royal line. They have to have royal blood, those little ones. Without that, there's no chance of them becoming a member of the royal family.
Meghan, the Duchess of Sussex, is marking her daughter Lilibet's 4th birthday by sharing some personal photographs. A rare sighting of a little girl seen in this picture with her father, Prince Harry, and now her mom. The child's face is partially covered, as the royal couple is known to fiercely guard the privacy of their 2 children. On Instagram, Meghan wrote, "Happy birthday to our beautiful girl. 4 years ago today, she came into our lives, and the day is brighter and better because of..."
Something like that. So she wasn't even pregnant. So it's very weird. And Harry, it was said to Harry, not to her. I mean, she just came.
The question being debated in some corners of the public conversation keeps coming up again and again. Who are Archie and Lilibet beyond the headlines and royal titles? For most families, that kind of discussion would feel intrusive, and many believe it still should. But because Harry and Meghan remain such high-profile figures, nearly every detail attracts attention. To critics and supporters alike, the image surrounding the couple has often seemed carefully presented and highly polished, which only adds more curiosity to the ongoing debate. That's exactly why this latest wave of discussion is landing differently for so many people. Based on public commentary connected to Tom Bower, the topic of surrogacy has become part of the wider conversation, not as a minor private matter, but as an issue some commentators believe deserves more public clarification. It's important to note that none of these claims have been verified.
Is using everything for publicity and not really truly there. We know how she treats her family.
What we're really now seeing is that both of them, having posed as the victim for so long, are really the aggressors.
I discovered was, of course, that she was hunting for a man in England from 2013 onwards, when her marriage had crashed and she couldn't find anyone in Canada at the time. And she wanted wealth and she wanted fame. And she targeted, there's no doubt she targeted.
Tom, do you think Harry and Meghan are fast learning what they signed away when they took this Netflix big moolah? And I would say they signed away their credibility and their dignity.
Well, that's our view, but it's not theirs. They need the money, and they need it now more than ever because they've got no other source of income. So I think they're just stuck with the devil now. They're tied to Netflix, they're tied to their book, and all the criticism they're going to take means nothing because that's the only way they can earn their money. It has always been her motive. She's money obsessed and always has been. And that is why she married Prince Harry. A great surprise and disappointment was to discover that Prince Harry had very little money. She imagined he'd be worth hundreds of millions, if not billions. And she's having to make up for it now.
Yet the speculation itself has sparked intense debate across online platforms and media circles. Because royal lineage has historically carried significant attention, even unconfirmed rumours can quickly become major talking points. If any new information were ever to emerge, many observers believe the impact could extend far beyond personal headlines. That possibility is one reason the discussion continues to attract so much interest and attention. Prince Harry has found himself facing growing public scrutiny, and many people have noticed a shift in how he is being portrayed. The prince, who was once widely seen as relaxed and relatable, is now being discussed through a very different lens by some critics. Across social media, commentators often describe him as dealing with constant headlines, public pressure, and non-stop speculation surrounding his family.
Already is talking about marriage, but long before their engagement is even announced, let alone they're married and she's pregnant. And he's sitting in Clarence's house with then Prince Charles and Camilla. And Camilla just laughingly says, well, any child you'll have will probably have brown skin and ginger hair. And they all laugh, including Harry. I mean, not because of racism, it's just one of those things everybody imagines. When somebody is pregnant close to you, you wonder what the child will look like. But it was not said as anything other than...
Whether those portrayals are accurate or not, they have become a major part of the ongoing narrative, and that narrative is spreading quickly. Meghan Markle, meanwhile, is frequently described in a different way. Many discussions portray her as focused, strategic, and determined to challenge claims she believes are inaccurate. Yet this is where the story keeps grabbing attention. Every public response, statement, or effort to address rumours seems to generate another round of debate, drawing even more focus to the controversy and keeping the conversation alive across countless platforms.
People think her kids are fake. They think they're AI.
Well, I think Tina is a great journalist, and perhaps she has inside information. I don't see how the Sussexes can give up both the Netflix and the book deal. They won't be living in a Montecito cottage. They're more likely living somewhere in downtown LA, in a little hovel. That's their problem. They're stuck now. But, the truth is about...
Then the attention shifts to the past, and that's when the debate really starts heating up. People begin revisiting old interviews, public appearances, official announcements, and timelines, looking at them from a completely different perspective. Some commentators argue that certain moments appeared highly managed, while others question whether all the details presented publicly fit together as clearly as they expected. Others point out that some family matters were handled more privately than what many people associate with traditional royal customs. On their own, these observations might not seem especially significant. But when critics connect multiple points together, they believe it creates a bigger story that leaves them with more questions than answers. According to those voices, this controversy did not appear out of nowhere.
I'm told, and I believe, it was very early on in their relationship when Harry is bowled over by Meghan, is desperately in love, and already is talking about marriage. But long before their engagement is even announced, let alone they're married and she's pregnant. And he's sitting in Clarence's house with then Prince Charles and Camilla. And Camilla just laughingly says, well, any child you'll have will probably have brown skin and...
They argue there was plenty of time for greater clarification before the discussion grew into what it is today. Instead, ongoing uncertainty has kept public interest alive and the speculation moving forward. What was once viewed by supporters as a tightly controlled public narrative is now facing increasing scrutiny from audiences around the world. Regardless of where people stand on the claims and commentary linked to Tom Bower, one issue continues to dominate the conversation. Many observers say that the limited public response from Harry and Meghan has not reduced the debate. In fact, for some critics, the lack of direct answers has only encouraged more curiosity and intensified the ongoing discussion. Another point that keeps showing up in public discussions is the noticeable difference between how Archie and Lilibet are seen compared to other younger members of the royal family.
You hoped your children, Archie and Lilibet, would have had that you think they won't be able to now with this decision?
Well, for a start, the only time that I've come back to the UK is sadly for funerals or court cases.
I wrote 4 years ago a book about Prince Charles, and it was a story about how he had rehabilitated himself after Diana's death, and how Camilla also had to be rehabilitated. And it was a #1. It was a fascinating story. So when Meghan came along into the scene, I just thought, this is fascinating. How is this going to...
People often point to Prince William and Catherine's children, who have appeared at public events and have been photographed during family moments with senior royals, including King Charles III, Queen Camilla, and, before her passing, Queen Elizabeth II. Those appearances have been widely documented and have become part of the public image surrounding the monarchy. By contrast, Harry and Meghan have chosen to keep much of their children's lives out of the spotlight, resulting in far fewer public moments for people to see. Because of that, some commentators continue to ask questions about the distance between their family and the rest of the royal institution. There is no publicly confirmed explanation that answers every question people raise, and that uncertainty is a major reason the conversation continues. Many observers view the limited visibility of Archie and Lilibet's interactions with senior royals as unusual, while others believe it is simply the result of Harry and Meghan's long-standing commitment to privacy and protecting their children from media attention. The debate becomes even more intense when online speculation expands into discussions about family lineage and surrogacy claims. However, it is important to emphasize that these remain unverified claims, opinions, and theories circulating in public spaces. The reason the topic attracts so much attention is because questions involving royal succession and lineage have historically carried significant public interest and scrutiny. Even unverified uncertainty can create huge waves when the topic involves the royal family. In a system built on tradition, history, and public interest, speculation alone is often enough to spark intense debate and non-stop headlines. If any of the claims currently being discussed were ever supported by credible evidence, many observers believe the consequences could stretch far beyond a single news cycle. Questions involving royal roles, established customs, and long-standing expectations surrounding the monarchy would likely become major topics of discussion. That possibility is a big reason why so many people see this story as larger than a typical royal controversy.
I can't see a world in which I would be bringing my wife and children back to the UK at this point. And the things that they're going to miss is, well, everything. You know, I love my country. I always have done, despite what some people in that country have done. So, you know, I miss the UK. I miss parts of the UK, of course.
Then there is Tom Bower, a figure who continues to draw attention whenever royal matters are involved. He is known for examining complex stories connected to public figures, and supporters often point to instances where elements of his reporting or commentary later gained additional attention. Because of that reputation, many people are following the current discussion very closely and watching for any new developments. At the same time, it is important to remember that much of what is being debated remains unconfirmed. Right now, the situation is being driven by a mix of public speculation, online analysis, and ongoing reactions. Even without definitive proof, the conversation has already become a major talking point, and interest in the story continues to grow across multiple platforms. What is adding even more attention to the situation is the continued lack of a direct public response from Harry and Meghan regarding many of the claims being discussed online. There have been no detailed statements addressing every rumor, and that absence has become a major talking point in itself. People are interpreting the silence in very different ways. Some believe it reflects a desire to avoid giving more attention to speculation, while others argue that a clearer response could help settle at least part of the debate. Whatever the reason may be, the lack of direct engagement has kept the conversation alive and moving across social media, news outlets and online forums. As a result, questions continue to pile up, with many commentators wondering whether additional clarification will ever be provided. With each passing day, public interest appears to grow rather than fade. What may have started as smaller discussions in niche online spaces has expanded into a much wider conversation.
Our view, but it's not theirs. They need the money, and they need it now more than ever because they've got no other source of income. So I think they're just stuck with the devil now. They're tied to Netflix, they're tied to their book, and all the criticism they're going to take means nothing because that's the only way they can earn.
Commentators continue to examine timelines, past interviews, public appearances, and official announcements, searching for details they believe deserve further explanation. The recurring theme behind many of these discussions is that some people feel there are still unanswered questions they want addressed. From a public relations perspective, critics describe this as a significant challenge for Harry and Meghan's public image. The narrative of a new chapter and a private family life is now facing increased scrutiny, and many observers believe the ongoing controversy is becoming more difficult to move beyond as attention continues to build. For Prince Harry in particular, many observers see this debate as touching on something extremely personal. Fatherhood has often been presented as one of the defining chapters of his life, giving him a sense of purpose, direction, and motivation for major decisions he has made over the years. From the widely discussed Oprah interview to numerous public appearances, that message has remained consistent and highly visible. Becoming a father has been a central part of Harry's public story, which is why ongoing speculation attracts so much attention. Some critics and online commentators have raised questions about aspects of that story. But it is important to emphasize that these claims remain unverified and should be treated as speculation rather than established fact.
Living a life that she's winning and she's doing all these great things, but the reality is not that. The reality is...
Even so, the discussion continues because it touches on issues that many people view as deeply significant. For some observers, the controversy is no longer just about headlines or public relations. They see it as a debate that reaches into broader questions about trust, transparency, and personal identity. That is a major reason emotions run so high whenever the topic resurfaces online. Prince Harry has long been associated with resilience in the public eye. Images from his childhood, particularly during the period following Princess Diana's death, became defining moments that shaped how many people viewed him. For years, that narrative remained powerful and widely recognized. Now, however, public opinion appears more divided than before. In online discussions, some people portray Harry as a figure dealing with constant outside influence and pressure, while others argue he has been fully aware of and responsible for the decisions that are now being scrutinized. Both viewpoints are being debated intensely across social media and news commentary, showing just how polarized the conversation around him has become. What ties many of these competing narratives together is the same recurring theme: a perceived loss of control. Whether fair or not, some public discussions continue to focus on the idea that Prince Harry is no longer fully shaping his own story. That interpretation keeps resurfacing across media coverage, online commentary, and social platforms, and it has become a major part of the wider debate surrounding him.
Of extraordinary reporting in your book on what this was likely based on and how it doesn't match up to what Meghan said. Here's the clip, Sot 6, from the Oprah interview.
Well, of course, that was brilliant of you to bring that clip up because the body language just showed her discomfort as she dug deeper into her own hole. I mean, the truth is this, that there are two truths. The first truth is that the conversation, I'm told and I believe, was very early on in their relationship when Harry is bowled over by Meghan, is desperately in love, and already is talking about...
At the same time, reports and rumors connected to life in Montecito are being mentioned more frequently in public conversations. These accounts remain claims and should be viewed with caution, but they continue to attract attention. Various commentators have suggested that Harry is closely aware of the headlines, public reactions, and ongoing discussions involving his family, while others question whether those portrayals are accurate at all. Stories about stress, frustration, pressure, and the difficulty of escaping constant public scrutiny have also spread widely. Whether these descriptions are completely accurate, partly true, or simply exaggerated by online discussion, they're influencing how many people interpret the situation. For some observers, the picture being painted is of someone facing relentless attention from every direction, with few opportunities to step away from the spotlight and the ongoing speculation. Prince Harry has spent years encouraging conversations about mental well-being, resilience, and the importance of speaking openly about personal struggles. Because of that, some critics continue to point to what they see as a contradiction between those public messages and the speculation currently surrounding his private life. Whether that criticism is fair or not, it has become a recurring theme in online discussions and media commentary. The comparison keeps resurfacing and remains a major talking point. Meanwhile, Meghan Markle is often portrayed very differently in these conversations. Many commentators describe her as focused on managing public narratives through official statements, legal channels, and efforts to challenge claims she considers inaccurate. However, that approach has also become a subject of debate, with supporters and critics offering sharply different interpretations of what it means. Some observers argue that strong public pushback can sometimes generate even more curiosity. The reasoning frequently shared online is simple. If a matter is straightforward, why not provide a direct response? That viewpoint remains speculation rather than established fact. But it is the type of argument that spreads quickly and keeps people engaged in the discussion. At the same time, attention is not focused solely on Harry and Meghan. The wider royal family's limited public comments on these topics are also being closely watched. There have been no major public statements addressing many of the rumours, and Archie and Lilibet continue to have very little public visibility compared with other royal children. When people compare that situation to the more visible public appearances involving Prince William, Catherine, and their children, the contrast stands out to many observers. Supporters see it as a reflection of Harry and Meghan's commitment to privacy, while critics view it as another factor fueling ongoing questions and speculation. Everyone following this story seems to have their own interpretation, their own questions, and their own view of what the silence means. That's a big reason why the discussion continues to attract so much attention. For many people, this is no longer just a story about well-known public figures. It has turned into a massive public debate, with people across the world examining the same events from completely different angles and reaching very different conclusions. Whether you believe the speculation is overblown or think there are still unanswered questions, one thing is clear. Interest in this story isn't fading anytime soon. As long as questions remain, the conversation is likely to keep growing and evolving across media platforms and online communities. What do you think about everything that's been discussed? Share your thoughts in the comments below and join the conversation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with others who follow royal news and major public controversies. And make sure to turn on notifications so you never miss future deep dives and updates. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.